AITA for changing all the locks in my house without letting my mom know? When I, 23 was 15, my dad died. My mom, 45, didn't wait too long to start over and moved her new partner in just 2 months later. My dad left everything to me and not even a dime to her. They were not married. My dad's will was so structured that she couldn't challenge it, and she attempted and even asked me to pass over one of my properties to her to show my new dad that he was welcomed. I couldn't even if I wanted to, because my dad's will was specified that I must be 21 to have access to everything he left me. This dude had kids, 18 19 their ages now, and my mom prioritized them to keep him happy. I mean, she wasn't like abusive or neglectful, but she tended to favor them. They went on trips, and even if she didn't tell me not to go, she'd say something between the lines as, "Wouldn't you like to go to your grandparents? My dad's better?" I mean, I'm not stupid, and I know she didn't want me there. When I turned 17, she asked me to leave my own house because I kept fighting with her dude, and I also reminded him of whose house it was. When he wanted to play the man of the house, I also called him John Conroy. My grandparents told me to avoid confrontation, so I went to live with them. My mom would visit me often and tell me how much she loved, but she needed to keep peace at home. After college, I decided to check my properties and also the one that my mom is living at. I wanted to renovate it to rent it since it's a good one and can help me to afford my master's. I went there to inform my mom, but no one was there. Later I found out they went on vacations. I called her, but she didn't answer, so I proceeded to change the locks, mainly to officially take possession. They arrived yesterday and could get in. Of course, they called me, but I wasn't on the town. I went today because some renovation works will start in few weeks. I was in the backyard and my mom came in furious, yelling at me saying how I dare to do that. So we talked and I let them know they have 2 weeks to leave. Her husband, an unemployed, self-employed, was furious. My mom and her stepdaughter started crying because the girl is pregnant. I'm sorry, but I made up my mind. My mom's family is shaming me, but I'd like to know if you think I'm ta? My mom called me today saying we can talk. Edit. I'm not in the USA. Not really looking for legal advice. NTA because as a minor you were kicked out of your own house and made a secondary priority. As in, adult you're now doing what you couldn't do then. Make sure you're doing everything legally so they can't make things harder on you. I'm wondering if your father knew something and that's why you got everything. When I, 23 was 15, my dad died. My mom, 45, didn't wait too long to start over and moved her new partner in just 2 months later. Now see, that is too quick. I saw a post yesterday where the OP's sister accused them of being a cheater because they moved on. Within 2 years, my dad left everything to me and not even a dime to her. They were not married. My dad's will was so structured that she couldn't challenge it, and she attempted and even asked me to pass over one of my properties to her to show my new dad that he was welcomed. I couldn't even if I wanted to, because my dad's will was specified that I must be 21 to have access to everything he left me. Sounds like your dad knew something was up and his death was also expected. My mom would visit me often and tell me how much she loved, but she needed to keep peace at home, which actually undermines her statement, or more specifically gives you a keen measure of how much she in fact loves you. She loves Dick more than you. Gotta say though, the perfection of how you gave them the boot was chef's kiss, perfecto. No sympathy for them. It really is karma in action. She gave you the boot, so you gave them the boot. My mom's family is shaming me, but I'd like to know if you think I'm ta? A bunch of useless whiners who said nothing when your mother kicked you out? Yeah, Their opinion totally matters, I'm sure. My mom called me today saying we can talk. What's there to talk about? She made her choices and now you've made yours. NTA. NTA, but I'd definitely look into making sure you're handling this the best way legally. Big time NTA. Your father had the sense to construct his will in the way that he did because he likely had the 411 on her character and motivations, and that is why he went to great lengths to ensure that will was ironclad. He probably wanted to ensure that you were able to live well without her controlling in manipulating what he worked hard for. He wanted you to be the beneficiary of that, and it should be respected. Major red flags that she's basically treated you like rubbish over the years, but when she needs a place to stay she's happy to leech off you? She's an adult. She made her bed, so she shall lie in it. You are not responsible for her or her husband, and I'm sure they're fully capable of working. Sorry for the pregnant lady, but at the end of the day these are your assets and your home. Just make sure you don't allow them back there in case they made any legal claims against the property, so I'd call your lawyer just in case she tries any funny business. Change the locks and even reinforce the doors if you have to. Go and see if you can and tell her where to go. You're not her personal bank or provider. That was her job, and she failed miserably when she basically excluded you in favor of her new family. So okay, she was happy with them, well, she can stay with them and they can all be happy together in their homelessness. Good luck. NTA, they basically forced you out of your own house, you just returned the favor. NTA. She brought in a new man 2 months after your dad died. Tried to get one of your properties. Prioritized her new man's kids over you. Kicked you out of your own home, and she has the gall to call you an asshole? Hell no. Tell her to get her own place and be done with the disrespect. It's your property, not hers. You do what you want with it. If you still feel bad after you renovate the place, tell her she can stay if she pays you rent. You may want a lawyer. They are your tenants and there are laws and procedures which have to be followed to evict them. They vary by local area. Are you the asshole? A bit. Not for deciding to kick them out, but for changing the locks on them without warning. NTA. From the sounds of it, your grandparents and your uncle handled everything in your name as a minor, and you legally took care of everything the moment you could so as to prevent them claiming it. You are not responsible for your under 21 stepsister being pregnant. You are not obligated to house them or gift them a house. They chose to exclude you from the family starting at 15. You have the right to use your inheritance as you see fit. Overall, definitely NTA. Would it have been nice if you waited until they returned to change the locks? Yeah, probably. But it probably also would have been nice if she didn't choose her new family over you. Karma's a bitch, I guess. As a minor, your mother kicked you out of property that you're legally owned. While knowing that you owned it, she was capitalizing on the idea that you would be too emotionally invested in the fact she is your mom to ever actually stake claim to her home. She found out. When you alienate and ostracize your children, you cannot then expect them to show you anything more than what you yourself have given them. Did you go about it aggressively? Yes. Was it your right to do so? Also yes. Just make sure you're abiding by the laws of your country. NTA. NTA. They stole the house from you and your mother chose her new family over you. Even went as far as to try and steal your inheritance. Don't relent and give in. She asked you to leave your own house at 17. And even excluded you from family trips. You owe them nothing. They don't consider you family clearly. Don't let them leech off you. Edit. And ignore the YTA comments. I can't fathom how they got to this conclusion. Who kicks out a 17-year-old for their new family after said child lost their father too? So sad. Sorry you've gone through this. Please don't feel like you owe them anything. You deserve to be loved, not be a cash cow. NTA. Your house. Your rules. She tried to steal it from you in the past. Now she has to pay the price. Get off AITA and over to one of the lawyer Reddits. Your mother and stepfather likely have squatters' rights and tenant rights that dictate whether or not you're allowed to change to locks, renovate, how much warning you're obligated to give them, and what constitutes reasonable steps to have notified them. This isn't my house, my rules. It's what can a landlord legally do when their property is under tenancy. And that's well beyond what we can talk about here. NTA. It sounds like your mom and your new stepdaddy have lived off you long enough. It also appears all of stepdaddy's kids and soon-to-be grandkids have lived off you too. It blows my mind that she kicked you out of your own property, but she may have done you a huge favor if all of the stepdaddy's kids are still living there and now popping their kids there, expecting for them to live there too. I am so glad that your father was such a great planner for you and that your grandparents, his parents, were active in your life. NTA. Because they have been living there rent-free since you inherited it and acted like they owned the place, sidelining you completely. You were treated like an inconvenience in your own home. Now they're an inconvenience to be evicted from your own home. NTA. Ray kicked you out of your own house. I would done that much sooner. Right after I turned 21. NTA. I thought that all things considered, you played that in a mature fashion. Sorry, but I'm pretty sure her fella was waiting in the sidelines Bekwase 2 months after your dad passing. NTA. Your father obviously knew what kind of person your mother is, and made sure she couldn't drop you off with grandparents and not provide for yourself when you came of age. It's not your fault your stepsister is pregnant, and they should have been looking for a way to either purchase the home from you or finding their own home. Tell them to piss off. NTA. Your mom should have seen this coming a long time ago. She kicked you out of your house that you own and were paying the property taxes on. I am firmly on the side of people leaving their property to their children when they have relationship property are separated from the other relationship member, i.e. your mom didn't pay for the property because of this exact issue. If your father left her the house, guess what? It would go straight to that other dude's kids. That's not what your dad wanted. Your mom got a free house for years. No rent, no mortgage, no property taxes. That's why her dude can be lazy and not work. Your dad did the right thing. Of course people can leave things to their kids over their spouses. That's frequently how it works with family property, or it would also be lost. You can put a clause in wills that a spouse can stay in a property until death. Clearly your father wasn't interested, considering your mom moved a dude in 2 months after he passed. I bet it's because she was cheating. They also weren't married. That does affect things. NTA. Your mom is a leech and was taking advantage of you. You removed her from yourself and your assets.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.